Trade is another eventful week in the market, and as always, here I look forward to sharing all of my top ideas for the upcoming week with all of you, including precise entry and exit targets. Now, as I mentioned in my previous watch list and studied and reviewed in great detail in my Inside Access meeting, it continues to be an opportunistic tape for momentum trading, for move-to-move trading. And as I discussed in that most recent IA meeting, once we see the market shape up in a specific fashion and in what I'm looking for and outlined with you in that meeting, then the focus for me might shift predominantly back to swing trading. Now, with that being said, let's get right into this week's top focuses of mine, a lot of move-to-move trading. Starting off with a small cap, let's start this week off with a small cap, and that's going to be TCTM. TCTM was certainly Friday's small cap flavor of the day. With a ton of opportunity on the long side. The stock punished stubborn shorts very early on as we got back above pre-market highs, held above VWAP, and fantastic move-to-move trading, and really exhausting shorts and eventually exhausting longs as well. Until the range expanded, until we started to blow off shorts and we started to really extend from the volume weighted average price for an A+ intraday parabolic short. That's really what I was looking for, and for a reversion back down to VWAP. So opportunity for both longs and shorts. Now, given the float, given SSR, given the unbelievable volume that was traded relative to the float on Friday, I don't think it's done. Now, I'm not saying this can make new highs. I'm not saying it can go 2+, but I think at the very least, considering T+1 and the potential for failure to deliver, it could certainly see a pushback towards 1 early next week. So what is my plan here? With that possibility in mind, I have a couple scenarios that I'm thinking about for TCTM. First, I'm looking to short the stock if we do get a swipe up early on Monday towards 90 cents. Potential resistance or a push 1 above and stuff fail to follow through, I'd look to short against the high of day and be patient there, trailing my stop lower highs on the 5-minute or VWAP reclaim for a cover toward the close. Alternatively, if we do see the stock push back early on Monday and we get back to 90 cents and we start churning and trapping below 90 cents, in that case, if we continue to hold up, I'd potentially look for a consolidation breakout long, targeting a move closer towards 1.1, 120, closer towards potentially Friday's high, where a lot of overhead resistance might be for the cover. All right, next up, shifting gears to more of a mid cap. Let's go to Rocket Lab. Let's throw some moving averages back on here. All right, moving to Rocket Lab. Now, Rocket Lab, this was from last year, one of the best swing longs that I had and discussed in detail, around $8, that multi-year breakout in Inside Access. Incredible follow through and fantastic growth for the company. Now, shifting gears from a swing to more of a momentum mindset, with the stock having almost an inside week last week, and holding above its 20-day moving average and 5-day moving average, closing slightly above that on Friday. I'm focused on the short-term momentum, and really I'm inclined, given the positioning above key moving averages, for a breakout long intraday next week, just given where the stock is. But if Rocket Lab takes out last week's low and it breaks below its 20-day moving average, then I'd be looking for some intraday momentum shorts if we were to break last week's low in this key area of support. If that were to happen, I'd be looking potentially for a target towards its rising 50-day moving average, mid-25s, and obviously we have some support in the 24s and a more higher time frame band of support in the high 23s, 24s. So this might be the obvious zone for taking profits. But with that being said, from a long perspective, if we were to break above last week's resistance in the low to mid-30s, and we were able to take out last week's high, I then would be inclined for looking for a long entry intraday versus the previous higher low or low of day, and looking for a move back above 32 as we come into potential resistance near the 52-week highs. And on that note, and on that theme with space stocks, looking at RDW, looking at Redwire Corporation, another space name, given its close on Friday, given how we gave back most gains and closed in the low end of the range, and back in the range on the daily. I'm definitely inclined here, just preparing for a potential scenario of failed follow through. If we do see some air come out of space names, for example, if Rocket Lab gets below key levels like we just discussed, then I'm going to look to get short red wire on a lower high, given Friday's failed move higher, potentially can come a quick move lower. So ideally, here I'm looking for an entry. It would be a stuff on Monday, Tuesday, early next week if we do get some relative weakness and some air coming out and momentum coming out of space names. Ideal entry would be failed follow through lower high, but specifically if we were to get a move into its multi-day. If it's on Monday, it's 2-day VWAP from Friday, or Tuesday, looking at a multi-day VWAP from Friday's move, anchored on Friday's move. And again, this is just an if-then potential scenario, and targeting, I would say, a move towards some support near 22s, high 21s would be the ultimate area for a momentum intraday short, targeting 22 to 21s. Now, some additional just back burner ideas and things to be aware of and alerts set. First of all, in SPY, obviously we had a weak close in SPY in the after hours below 600 key area of support. Just zooming out, I don't want to see us fail to hold its 50-day moving average. I think if that were to happen, last week's low could come into question. Ideally, we could get a higher low versus last week's low from Monday's panic and very quickly reclaim 600, and very similar positioning in the Qs. Now, momentum could easily spill out if we fail to hold above the 50-day moving average, 20-day moving average, and unable to reclaim 600. So just something to be aware about coming into next week. And last two ideas, Tesla. Big levels, of course, following earnings are now forming on the daily chart with converging key moving averages right in the middle of the range in this bull flag that's developing. Next week, I think, should be telling for a reactive and directional move in either direction. Very open-minded here, either below key support or above resistance in last week's high. So what will be key for me is just monitoring relative strength and weakness for a potential directional move above or below last week's high or low. And very similarly, in NVIDIA, again, just being open-minded and looking for reactive trades and pockets of liquidity and inflection areas for NVIDIA had significant range, fantastic opportunity for move-to-move trading last week. And similar to Tesla, I'm just going to be looking to identify some key and critical relative weakness and strength and see how we act around key levels from last week. So for example, I'm open to going long if support holds near 118 from last week, and I'm also very open-minded if we show relative weakness and we're leading on that relative weakness ladder. If we hold below key support near 118s, I'd be willing to trade move to move on the short side versus previous lower highs on a 5-minute time frame, targeting any ATR move to the downside or any extensions from the volume weighted average price. So again, very move to move focused in NVIDIA, in Tesla, and some other high beta market related names, and of course identifying relative weakness, relative strength, and overall market positioning will be key to deciding whether or not those reactive trades are there to be had relative to key support and areas from last week. So that's everything that's on my radar. Again, very focused on move-to-move trading until I see some internals begin to correct and favor more of a swing environment. As always, every day, new names, fresh ideas pop up in the pre-market, and that's also where my opportunity will flow to, where my attention will flow to as the opportunity sees fit. So with that being said, let me know, drop in the comments what your top focus is for next week. Perhaps you have similar names on watch that I do, but conflicting ideas or thoughts or plans, share that as well. And as always, I really enjoy hearing the thoughts and plans and stocks that you have on your watch list as well. All right, have a fantastic week. Wishing you all the best, and I will see you all next week. Cheers.
So you're an active trader, not doing as well as you want, not doing as well as you deserve, and you just can't figure out why you can't become profitable no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. This is your competition. The traders in this room. This room right here is full of elite traders, some of whom are making 7 and even 8 figures a year. In fact, our top guys have made nearly 20 million each in net trading profits in a single year. Let's head to my office so I can share more. So you're probably used to seeing videos of lavish trader lifestyles, trading gurus trading off of a laptop for an hour a day, heck, maybe even 15 minutes a day, and then them relaxing on some secluded beach for the rest of the day. Well, all I can tell you is that our traders train like pro athletes. They live and breathe the markets and are continually working on their trading skills. Because at our firm, that's what we found it really takes to make it in this game. I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder and managing partner of SMB Capital, one of the world's top proprietary trading firms located in Midtown Manhattan. And we're always looking for trading talent to hire and develop. And not just to trade in-house on our desk, but also to trade from their own home, entirely using our firm's capital. And we have numerous traders doing just that, allowing them to make upwards of 7 figures trading the firm's capital without risking their own money. But to even get a shot at something like that, you need to have the right training. That's why we're doing a new free online presentation in which we share how you can get an interview with SMB to become an in-house or remote trader, trading firm capital without risking yours and gaining access to all of our firm's coaching and resources. And the best part? You don't have to be a profitable trader yet. In fact, we prefer to mold profitable traders with our methods and our techniques. That's why we have just 3 simple criteria that can earn anyone an interview. We're looking for highly ambitious and determined traders who fit our culture first and foremost. So if you believe that could be you, sign up for the free 1-hour online presentation by clicking the link that's in your top right corner of your screen now.